Hey guys, this is a super quick review of the newest MCU offering, the Thunderbolts. And yeah, I had fun with this one. I had a lot more fun, in fact, than I did with Captain America Brave New World. I think what really helped out this movie was there was a good, solid ensemble cast. Now, with Captain America Brave New World, there was a lot of reshoots, which most definitely didn't help either. But this movie isn't perfect either. You can definitely see that there was a lot cut from this movie. It felt really short, in fact, for an MCU movie. And if you watch the trailers, you can see there's scenes that were in those trailers that aren't featured in this movie. So I have a feeling that a lot of characterization of this ensemble cast made it to the cutting room floor. And this sucks because there's a really good ensemble cast here. First off, you have Florence Pugh returning as Yelena, the new Black Widow. And for all intents and purposes, this is her movie. And we actually meet the character in a really bad place. She's spiraling into depression and she's questioning her own self-worth. And yeah, Pugh gives a really heartfelt performance of this person who doesn't know her place in the world. You genuinely feel that Yelena wants to do something positive with her life. She wants to contribute and do something good for society, like her late sister Natasha, but wonders, does her past sins prevent her from doing so? And if so, is she worthy enough to take up her sister's mantle as the Black Widow? Another great addition to the cast is David Harbour as Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian. David Harbour is fucking hilarious in this, and he is so emulating cringe dad vibes when he's around Florence Pugh's Yelena. It is so fucking funny, and it is probably the heart and soul of this movie. You really do feel that Alexei would have been an okay Captain America if he wasn't so fucking goofy. And the only way he got away with some of the shit he did was because he was the Soviet Union's equivalent of Captain America. It's great to see him in this role again. He was the highlight from the Black Widow movie, and he was actually one of the highlights from the What If animated series. And yeah, while there is a lot of laughs with the interactions between Yelena and Alexei, there's a lot of heart there as well, because this is the last connection she has to her family. You do feel that Alexei, as well as wanting to be a superhero, he also wants to be a good dad. And it just goes to show David Harbour isn't just in this to be goofy comic relief. He can brim the fields when he needs to. As a result, he is the standout character in this movie. But as I was saying earlier on, guys, a lot of the character moments did make it to the cutting room floor, even though you had a really solid fucking cast here. First off, Russell Wyatt returning as US Agent John Walker. He's given a bit more to do than some other characters. It's definitely an evolution from his appearance in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. You get more of a cocky kind of upstart, jingoistic soldier who's just brimming with untethered self-confidence, but really has a lot of insecurities, which are played for both laughs and poignancy. There is a sadness. Sure, he's a cocky asshole, but that's not really his fault. And as a result of his actions, his life is starting to fall apart. I think it's one of those other things, though, you need to see Falcon and Winter Soldier to realise he's actually just a victim of circumstance rather than an out-and-out bad guy. We also have Sebastian Stan returning again as Bucky Barnes. And yeah, there's very little going on with Bucky in this movie. He's there as an adversary to the Thunderbolts at the start and later recruits them. But truth be told, he's just there to look cool and do some badass stuff. And don't get me wrong, Bucky Barnes is a kick-ass character. But they really do fuck all with him in this, truth be told. And that's sad because Sebastian Stan can kick ass when he's given a chance. Case in point, his performance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. With that being said, however, guys, as bad as Bucky was treated in this movie, it's nowhere near as insulting as poor Hannah John Kamen's ghost or Olga Kurylenko's Taskmaster was treated in this movie. These characters are afterthoughts. For real, guys, you had two awesome characters that were completely underutilized in this flick. Again, Taskmaster, what happened was laughable. And as I said before, Hannah John Kamen's ghost, so much potential and completely wasted in this flick. One character I feel they didn't waste though was Bob, and you're probably wondering, who the fuck is Bob? Well, do you know what, guys? I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, but suffice to say, I think this character is going to have a big role in future MCU projects. But yeah, Bob is played by Lewis Pullman. That's Bill Pullman's son. You might actually recognize him from the recent Salem's Lot remake. And while that was lackluster, he was actually one of the better elements of it. And like that, in this, he's actually fairly solid. He's an interesting character because there's a lot of complexity to him, there's a lot of humanity to him, and there's a lot of damage to him. And as a result, he connects instantly with Yelena, and she has a bit of a soft spot for him. So it's going to be interesting to see their dynamic later on in future MCU movies. But in the case of this story, he is intrinsical to the plot. And yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting in that we get a movie with a villain that's not really a villain. Although if I had to cite someone as a villain, it'd probably be Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Valentina Allegra, who she most definitely based off Tulsi Gabbard, right down to that grey streak in her hair. Valentina has turned up in a number of MCU projects and she's essentially the head of the CIA, hence why I think Dreyfus based her off Tulsi Gabbard, but that's neither here nor there. And yeah, Dreyfus does a good performance as this conniving, two-faced ice queen who, as well as trying to cover her own arse, wants to create her own perfect super soldier. And yeah, that leads to a whole host of chaos throughout the movie. As I said at the start of the review, guys, I had fun with this. I enjoyed it a lot more than Captain America Brave New World. Not that that movie was terrible, it's just there was a better ensemble cast than this, and I think they worked really well together, despite obviously having a lot of their scenes cut down. It's not perfect by any means. I mean, one major threat is resolved with the power of friendship, and you can really tell there was a lot cut out of this. And it's most certainly not going to be the movie to rejuvenate the MCU, but it's still a worthy watch. So if you're an MCU fan, do check this out. If you're more of a casual fan, maybe check this out in a matinee. It's still worth the price of admission, but the cost of that admission ticket really should depend if you're an MCU fan or a casual fan. As I said before, if you're a casual, maybe hold off till a matinee. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Thunderbolts. Have you seen it? If so, let me know in the comments below. And who is your favourite Marvel anti-hero? Let me know that in the comments below as well. My name's Martin, this has been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.